late because I dragged my butt. Hello. Hi, hello. How are you? Amanda. We're going to do our makeup. Last week I did a hybrid of traditional makeup with Saint. I actually did my Mother's Day makeup with the hybrid, and I used the Milk contour, which I did like. I just feel like it does make me look a little on the greasy side. I'm ready for some Botox. I think I might go for it. My forehead is probably like, when I take a picture, that's like the first thing I go to, that, and if I have any breakouts, which I have one right here. Anyways, going live. Say hi when you get here. Hello, Pam. Hello, Roseanne. Oh, yay. Yes. Hello. How are you? It's the day after Mother's Day. I'd call it Mother's Yay, but honestly, it's not one of the holly yays. It's not bad, but man, talk about like when moms have pressure and then you throw Mom's Day on it, like pressure overload. Like, did you celebrate your mom? Do you feel celebrated? Do you have to spell it out for everybody? Do you need to plan it? Do you got to make the reservations? Do you need to be with the kids? Did you get groceries in time? Because if you don't get groceries on Mother's Day because you're taking Mother's Day off, that means on Monday there's no food for lunches. And I took Mother's Day off and there was no food for lunches. I forgot about that. But I was not doing anything yesterday. Ugh. I've got things to do today. He took the garbage out, but apparently when you put things in a paper bag by a garbage, it makes it invisible. Anyways, happy Monday. Anybody else like Mondays? I do, but that's because I'm a stay-at-home mom and I don't get a day off. And so if I could do my work, my home work, my house work without people here walking behind me like a flippin' mess glitter machine, I like Mondays. I like Mondays. I want to watch what I want when I fold laundry. I want to be alone and do my stuff. Ugh. Anyways, we're going to do our makeup. I'm going to do my eyes first. So there's a new collection in town. I forgot what it's called and my computer's probably dead. Yep. But here it is. There is a new collection available starting Friday. And it comes in the same little palette. You get the same little mini cleaning tile, but these are the colors, and these colors are some of the scarier colors that were in the Advent. Here's what trips my trigger a little bit. If you got the Advent, don't buy any of the collections because they're all Advent colors. They told us they wouldn't be, but they are. And I just don't like when they say one thing and do another. So if you got the Advent, you don't need to worry about the collections. But if you didn't get the Advent, now you can kind of pick and choose. I think actually this scary blue, it looks like Duke. It goes on lavender. It's so, so pretty. These are very sparkly, like a glitter. So if you're not a glitter person, this collection wouldn't be for you. But these are all very, very, very pretty because they look like one color and they go on another. I find these to go on very sheer, not with a tone. I do find, let's see, so the colors are Candyland. I'll swatch these. Let's swatch them. So you have to really buff into this one. You actually have to scuff it up. The oils of your fingertips and brushes with other creams that it may have touched, they do create a film. And so here's the color. Goes on kind of pink. It has a shimmer, but it goes on more like that. You see the little glitter? That's kind of how it actually goes on. Okay. Thursday. Thank you, Kathy. I was trying in my head to remember what day the 15th was. So Thursday, correction. Okay. But this color, it's 2. And I like showing it in its most pigmented form, which is so pretty. But it actually, when I put it on my lid, it goes on very sheer and it doesn't have a lot of color to it. Okay. So that's actually what it goes on like, is this. You can look at it this way. What's the difference between a crow and a raven? Anybody know? Is it size? Anyways, I just had a big black bird fly by. Anyways, so this is Candyland. The next color I'm going to swatch is, if I could get it out, Sugared. Let's wipe my hand off. So this is sugared. It's so hard to see it because once the light hits it, it looks gold. Hair in my eye. But it has a purple to it. Do you see the purple? Anyways, goes on like a glitter also. This color is beautiful. I do wish it went on more like this, but you'd really have, I'm gonna try to today. I do like this one. It's my second favorite. This one, I don't use a whole lot because I just don't feel like it shows up well. You have to, whoa, that one's scuffed quick. Yikes. Anyways, that was a soft scuff. So I'm gonna pick it up and swatch it. So there's the color. It has that purple and gold to it, but it goes on like this. So you can tap it and it goes on without a color, but a shimmer. So you see that? It's that gold shimmer. This has more of a iridescent purple, fairy purple. Call it fairy colored. But these are the colors. This is how it actually goes on. I like showing it that way because the tins are really scary and they're not. I used it on Mother's Day. It just made me feel, I think these are great for this palette, this collection, we're gonna do the next one, is to me a holiday collection. I would pick this for the holidays, Christmas, New Year's. This is a great palette for the holidays. Not so much summer. I don't know anybody that's popping glitter on. I'm not going to a barbecue with glitter. Okay, so the next color is called Blue Satin. This one's my favorite. Okay, so Blue Satin is this color. Looks like Duke, but I find that it goes on looking a little more lavender. There it is. I find that it looks more lavender than it does on camera. It's so hard. In person, this does look lavender. Just saying. Okay, good morning. Okay, let's see. Amanda, not pretty. You know, here's the thing about makeup companies. They're never gonna check everyone's box. I think they're very pretty. They may not, there's an appreciation. So I follow this account on it, the Instagram, the Instabrag, as me and my husband call it. And she's called Ponderosa and Plaid. I love following her account because she does really beautiful things. I wouldn't put it in my house, but I appreciate something pretty. But I don't think, I mean, I have some people that they'll let you know when it's not for them. And that's why I teach my kids when they taste something and they don't like it, instead of saying, ew, that's gross, because you never want to yuck someone's yum. But saying, it's just not for me. These colors are not for everyone. This is a color collection that I just don't think is for everyone. But I do find this to be more of, I know the colors are bright and vibrant like spring and summer. I still find them to be more of a holiday color for like a more, I wouldn't even put these on for like a bridesmaid. I wouldn't put, they're too much. They're too much shimmer, too much glitter. They're very glittery, very glittery. Like these are, I don't know. You're gonna, I don't want to say anything bad. The glitter spreads, so you will have little flecks everywhere else. So I just think they're not for everyone, but they are very pretty. I do love this one. I do like to layer it on, but it is a little much for, I don't know, a Monday. Super cute, but very specific. Yes, I do like that. And so they're pretty to look at. I will be very interested to see how much I sell it because I'm not promoting it well. I love them and I have been wearing them a lot. But I like colors that enhance my eyeshadows. So the previous collection, where is it? Where did I even put it? Oh, I put it in here. So the previous collection, I believe, had Ember. Yeah. This color enhanced your browns and it was so pretty. But then you also had Cashmere, which was like Crush, Peppa, but it had a little extra pizzazz to it. And I would bring them across together. So I'd have this color on the inside of my lid and then I would enhance my brown with Ember. They were really great. And then they had Winterberry, which jazzed everything up in a good way. It was like Tawanda, but better, like Tawanda's cool big sister. That's how I looked at it. If you are understanding the colors of Saint colors, I guess is the best way to describe it. But I love Tawanda. Winterberry is so pretty. I just feel like these are I mean, you can see the sheen to them, and they do that on the lid. I wore it for my Mother's Day lunch. Nobody said anything, good or bad, but I just feel like this would be great for New Year's, especially this one right here. Great for New Year's. I wouldn't put any of these on for a bride. They're just a little too much, and bridesmaids need to be a little, I don't know. But also, I know girls that wear glitters every day, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that's why I'm not trying to yuck a yum. They are very, as my son would call it, they are very Pacific. Do you guys have those words with your kids, since we're like on the heels of Mother's Day, where there's words in your house that only make sense in your house? Pacific is one of them in ours, and cremote. My son used to call a remote control a cremote. Just so we say cremote still to this day, and he's 24. And this is something he would say as a little kid. Anyways, these are the new colors. I am going to use them today, and they are very nice. It is an individual thing. Prom season, yes. Okay, Pam, good idea. Prom season, yes. Prom was last week for all of us, so it was a little late. So next year's prom, we're ready. They're fun though. Makeup should be fun. And if you have little girls, like I have my 8 and 10-year-old, and they're having a sleepover, and you're gonna pull out some colors, and you're like, let's play with makeup. These would definitely be a slumber party makeup, like for little kids. Because there's no rules with little kids. Okay, I forgot to turn on my do not disturb, so I'm gonna pop that on real quick. There we go. Okay, sorry. Okay, so we're gonna do our eye makeup. I am gonna use the new collection. I'm gonna use it with my favorite, most traditional eyeshadow favorite for me, which is gonna be Leo, and it's gonna be Drift. I don't think any of these are a brow bone color, but I am going to use Philly, so I'm going to use some of my favorites, the ones that I gravitate towards the most. Actually, I might do some, I've been doing a different color lately. Revival. It's pretty darn close. So this is Revival, and then this is Philly. This is just a little more purple than anything, and it pops my eyes pretty good. It does go on pretty darn dark, but we're going to do that today. I'm going to use St. John's Shadow Sense. If you see anything that you want to use, let me know. If you want to do a color match, click the link, send me a color match form. I usually get quite a few after a Monday live, so be patient, but check your spam if you don't hear from me in a couple of days, and then message me and say, hey, forget me, because they do get a little full. But all right, so I'm going to go in with Shadow Sense by St. John's. I use the color Candlelight, super pretty, and it just, there's so many colors, so you can have a good primer that's customized to you. I don't sell this, my girlfriend does, so when you buy from the link, you're supporting one of my friends, and she used to be my upline with Saint. Hello, Dana. But then when Saint went affiliate, she just became like, I don't know. She doesn't quite, what's the word? She's not as well supported by my sales as she used to be. So it's a way of supporting my friend, a way for me to give back to her when she lost me as her really great downline. Okay, so I'm just going to use this. This is a BK Beauty brush. I do really like their brushes. I should try out the face collection. I just think they're a little pricey, and that's why I like Saints, is they're 40 bucks and double-ended, so you're able to have 2 style brushes. All right, so we're just going to press this over. Do go quickly with this because it does set, so the longer it sits, the harder it is to blend out. But I have a lot of discoloration from my lash primer, which I forgot to put on this morning. I was running late, so I forgot. My seat. I think I need a new office. Oh, there we go. A new office chair. This one's getting a little old. It's seen better days. And I don't know how many days I have left in this room. My daughters are really pushing to not share a room. They've always shared a room since little baby Ava, who's 8, moved out of our room and into her own room when she was a baby. So they've always shared a room. They have a really good sized room. It's great, but they just are getting to that place where they don't want to share anymore. and it kind of breaks my heart. And it's funny, the big room is not the room they're fighting over. They want this room. I'm like, that's my room. That's my room. But they're like fighting over this room for some reason, and I don't know why, but it ain't happening. It ain't happening. But okay, I am going to prep with Lily. I love this little lavender color, perfect for spring, and it is spring. I've been an outside girl with my garden. My husband and I've been trying to be more active on my Instagram. So if you're over there, that's where I post. I try to post once a day, if that, like once a day minimum, up to 4 to 5. I don't try to overload it too much unless we really have something going on. But we just did, I am getting kicked out. I was like, wait, what am I getting kicked out? I am getting kicked out. I don't know why they want this room so much. It is the warmest room, one of the warmest rooms in the house. Anyway, we built a little pad. I had this dream off of our deck. There was this muddy area where there used to be hydrangeas, and my husband pulled them out, and it made me so sad. But it's just been muddy. So I made him put a patio in last weekend. Worst day of his life. Worst day of his life. I helped him. But I put in a patio because I wanted it for my garden table that was already there, but because it's a garden table and it has drainage, it just made it more muddy. It was sinking into the ground. So we made a patio because then later, if it's not a garden, it could be many things. But I got my patio. I just had to kick and scream enough to get what I want. And I always get what I want, but I got to be the most annoying person in the world. Anyway, we got it, and so I got to plant my garden. Things sprouted fast. I don't do those, I do starters different. Tell me if anybody else if you're a gardener and you do herbs, tell me how you do it. But a lot of people get those little peat pods and they put them in a tray, they put their starters, put some dirt in there, and then they set them aside in like a greenhouse, and then when they're done, they transfer them to a garden. I don't do that. I don't do that at all. I soak my little peat pots in water, and then when they get kind of fat, I pull them apart, I shred it up a little bit on the inside, and I put my seeds in it, and then I put my potting soil or whatever soil I'm using. I don't even pay attention. I think I got in-ground soil, but I put it in a planter box because it's tall in my back. But I take those pods, I scuff it up, put my seeds in it, and I set them directly into the dirt, into my garden table. Put a little peat stuff on it, bury them, water them, and leave them. And it's always worked out. All my kale, I did half my table in kale. My radishes are already sprouted. My sweet peas I planted Saturday, those are already popping out, and it's Monday. So am I doing it wrong? I don't think so, but I've never seen anybody else do that. I tried the starter thing and it just didn't work. So then I tried this and it works great. My kale lasted all year, but unfortunately I left a pumpkin on my deck too long. So when I went to pick it up, it started falling apart and I just dropped it on my thing and I just wouldn't eat it then. Okay, so I have all of my prepped on. I've got my lily on. I'm going to take my finger and I'm just going to take Drift, which is just a champagne shimmer, and I'm just going to tap that on my brow bone. There is easy ways to do things. Has anybody ever done their eyeshadow with their finger? I mean, it's not a bad idea. Okay, let's find an eyeshadow brush. My brushes are filthy. I need, maybe tomorrow I will do my brush cleaning. Okay, herbs are super sensitive. I couldn't get my parsley or my cilantro to pop. I'm nervous to try it with my fingers. Should I do my eyeshadow with my fingers today? I'm still gonna need a bit of a fluffy brush. So I have the bright brush. I'm gonna go into Leo. Let's do this with the fingers. Grab Leo. And we're just gonna try this with one. I'm gonna tap this up top and I'm just gonna buff it across. I mean, why not? It's makeup, it should be fun. Let's have some fun. If I'm gonna do my boring everyday eyeshadow, let's apply it in a fun way. That's not bad. Look at that. Wow, that's not bad. Okay, God, this thing's bugging me. All right, grabbing some more Leo. We're gonna come over here, and we're gonna go, I'm on the brow bone. I'm not even messing with my lid or my crease. I'm on the brow bone. I've noticed that when I watch my videos, I still don't bring this up high enough, and using my fingers actually make me go even higher. So that's great. All right, so just, woof, that's punchy. But we're gonna cover it with some, I think I'm gonna do Philly instead of Revival. I did Revival yesterday with this new collection. It was really pretty. They're really doggone similar. So I'm gonna go into Philly. If you're between brushes and they're dirty, grab Philly. And we're gonna pop that right there. Boy, and then we're just gonna push inward. Ooh. Whirl, whirl. Not bad. This ain't bad, guys. And then just pushing, I'm just kind of in the crease here and pushing on that brow bone. That's not bad. See, you can totally do this in your car, in a jam, forgot my brush, no problem. I don't recommend the face. Does anybody else carry sanitizer in their car? Because you would need to do that, because nobody wants to touch their steering wheel and then put makeup on with their fingers. Ew. Hello, Sandy. Okay, so Philly again over here. I'm just gonna boop, and then we're just gonna start pushing inward. In, out, pushing in, into that crease, pushing up on the base of that brow bone. You can totally do your eye makeup with your fingers. This is great. I thought I would need a fluffy brush, but grab a little more because this needs to come outward more. There we go. Bing, bang, boom. Not bad. We can totally do this. It's a little harder than I thought, but blends really nice. You're right. Look at that. Look at us go. Look at us being just so much fun. Look at us being crazy on a Monday, putting eyeshadow on with our fingers. We're wild. Okay. I'm going to go into the new collection, and what do I want to do? I'm going to take blue satin, and I'll put that on the inside of the lid. It's very light. Let's zoom in a little bit so you can kind of see. Look at my gross skin. I won't use a beauty filter. I just hate them. I think they're misleading. Not hating on them for just like funsies, but for makeup, you should not be doing beauty filters. It frustrates me when I watch people. What is that? There's this, I keep seeing this applicator for a, they're calling it a corrector, and it looks like this, but it's a corrector. But you can actively see the filter like popping off and on. Bugs me. Okay, so blue satin right there. See, not super scary, not as scary as it looks. I'm gonna go into, I'm gonna just use all three. So the next one I'm gonna go into is this guy right here. It looks gold. It has that hue of purple if you were here just a bit ago. I'm gonna put this one on the outside on top of some of that Philly. But you see how that is super, not super flecky, but more glittery than shimmery? That's what I mean. And I just think they're a little much, but this guy can really pump you too far if you're not careful, because it's that purple blue shimmer that's in it, but it's got that pink. So I'm gonna grab it, I'm gonna rub it. We're gonna go right in the middle. Not bad, not bad, not bad altogether. I'm just in person very glittery, very fine glitter. Like the glitter you would, did anybody do the gel nails where they would tap glitter on top? It's that kind of glitter is what it reminds me of, but it's very pretty as a spotlight color. Okay, that's the collection. Not scary. I like being able to take something that's not for everyone and trying to make it for everyone. This is not, it's a little much for like go to work. Like if you're gonna go to work, maybe not these colors. Blue satin, I think you could do. All right, I'm gonna grab my two favorite eyeliners together. I'm gonna zoom out because my skin's killing me today. It was just that special time that my skin just flares up. I'm gonna take my Maybelline Tattoo Studio and I'm gonna waterline with it. I find that holding and looking down and then pushing this up and then going over helps, but it is very easy to bug your eye. And then on the outer half, I just really get into the lashes. And it helps with that lift. Okay. I'm planning, if you're not in my Facebook group, get in there. I'm going to do my makeup this week because a lot of people come at me about my tiny but mighty wing. And maybe I'll do it today too, just to show it. But I'm going to do my whole face and then we'll add a wing at the end. And you can see the tiniest difference it makes in the eye. I think it makes me look, anytime I try to go light, it's hard to get eyeliner off at night when you wash your face, when you waterline. Yeah, it is. And I think that's why I get some darkness down here because of my lash serum, but I also think it's because of mascara is also hard to get off, even if it's not waterproof. And then waterline, yes. So I get some darkness around my eyes in the morning from the liner, but I wash my face in the morning and give it a reasonable good scrub there. All right, so I am gonna grab a brush. Where's my etch brush? It's right here. I'm gonna take my etch brush and I'm gonna go into that Philly. You can't do this with your finger. And it was all fun and games until we try to smoke things out, but I'm just gonna take a little bit of Philly and I'm just gonna go right here. I like a little bit of depth right here in the mid because it just, I think my eyes make me look older when I don't do that. It might just be because I'm not used to seeing myself that way, but it is what it is. My eyelash serum that I use is Babe Lash, and there is a link in the description to buy it. They have a lot of deals that go on, but if you use BWC 15, you may get fit. It's somebody else's coupon code that I stole from an influencer, Better with Chardonnay. She's funny. I love her, and so she always has one. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Try it. The worst they'll say is this doesn't work, but they also do buy one, get ones, and it's nice that way, but they usually one tube will last you 3 months. That's nice. I'm going to use this this mascara. This is Bare Minerals Maximus. I don't like it. It just doesn't have the shelf life. Once you get past the first week, I need to go get my Lashtopia, but I got this one because they were out of Lashtopia. I'm not a big fan. I really have to grind around the side on this. It just doesn't have a good shelf life, in my opinion. All right, we're gonna save my tiny but mighty wing for the end because I wanna show how much this little wing works. Okay, do I have good luck with it? Yes, yes, I love it. It doesn't always give, it gives me length, but I don't feel like it gives me as much volume, but the length, I can make volume with a good mascara because I just build up a lot of product at the base. So I wiggle it at the base and then lift. So for me to give the illusion of volume, which I think I do a pretty darn good job at, I don't like tubing mascaras because they work with length more than volume. And everybody has a different kind of, if you have naturally full lashes, fantastic, but I'm 44 and I have less volume. And so for me, I like a good thick brush. That's a big deal to me. And then I really like to build product at the base of my lashes to give the illusion of volume. So that has more volume, right? And just letting it build up, but by lifting, you're not clumping it. Not a tubing fan. It's just not for me. Saint has 3 mascaras. I don't think they were ready. The tubes are really pretty. Products just were, to me, a little lacking. So once it gets a little tacky on the lashes, start just flicking up and down on the tips of your lashes to build length on top of product. And that will help with your length. I don't think that's a bad method. And then I do my lower lashes. A lot of people do their lower lashes first. I think this is just more of a habit, so that if you have really long lashes and a really prominent brow bone, when you're doing your lashes, it can transfer up here. If that happens to you a lot, do your lower lashes first. It takes 21 days to make a habit, so put up a post-it. But this is my method for mascara, and I think it works really well. If you really want, I like the glue-on under lashes. I don't like using them for a full week because product from mascara, not mascara, from eyeshadow builds up on them and it makes them look dusty and gunky. Okay. I haven't done the brow, but yeah, I would say I would 100% say try the brow stuff. Don't use your lash stuff on your brows. It's two different kinds of hairs. Grande Lash and Brow Serum. You know, Babe Lash has a really good mascara. It's called For Real. It's in a turquoise tube. It is a very good one, and it's inexpensive. If you need to bump up to free shipping, I say try it. I think it's less than $10. And my left eye is even thinner than my right. So I just really work on the volume. And it takes me a little extra time to do the mascara, but it's worth the work. Anything worth doing, I mean, I'm a military brat, and so pound it into my head. If you're gonna do something, do it well, do it right, don't screw it up. Or beat yourself up over it if you don't do great. Military kids, we got problems. But I like to do 2 coats of building up at the base. If you have fine lashes, I think that it's good to let it tack up and then build more product at the base, but don't wait too long. Don't wait too long. You want it tacky, not set, not dry. And so just building up at that base. And if you want to add a little eye lift to the outer corner because you're of an age like I am, really focus on building that product up on the outer half of your lash root so that it gives you that look. Okay. Ugh, fine hair. I get it. I get it. Okay, so now I'm just going to build up on the tips to build my length. Length last, volume first is the name of the game for me. Okay, and then we'll do some lower lashes. I know Rimmel, it's a drugstore mascara. They have one that looks like a comb. Really good for lower lash line. I just haven't done it. Okay. Fine hair solution, get a halo. I don't have mine in. I need to get a new one because I bought a halo, what was it, 3.5 years ago, and I was a blonde then. And I dyed it brown when I went brown. And then just from time and heat, it's just gotten a little bad. So the ends are very fried. And I can't cut it shorter because my hair is longer than, it was down to here, but it's broken off from being blonde, adding blondes, all the things. And so it just started breaking off and getting singed. So I need to get a new one because my hair's longer, but halos are worth the investment in confidence. I feel like everybody has a face shape for things. I can't do a bob, a short bob. I was told I look like Mandy Moore from This Is Us when she was 70. And I was like, you are a monster. So I grew my bob out, and now I just add the halo because it just adds a little volume without adding too much length. My hair's naturally curly, but uneven, like ringlets, kink, frizz. And so I can't do extensions unless I wanted to do my hair every darn day. And no, no. All right, let's do our face. What do we want to do today? Do we want All Saint? Do we want a hybrid? What do we want to do, guys? I mean, it's a slow Monday here, and I think it's because I showed up 15 minutes late. But I've been really loving the One Size setting spray lately. Very good. Good morning, Alice. I do really like, I want to actually try it on my mom. She's been wanting to try a new makeup, and I told her I would do her makeup. I just don't know. I only have 2 colors, and I know one doesn't work, but maybe I'll try it for a more mature skin and see how it works on more mature skin. So, 'cause she's 66. So, is she 66? Yes. Yes, she's 66. And so, maybe I should go try this Perfect 10 on her because I talk about it on me and my maturing skin. I'm in the fried green tomatoes of my life right now, so I can't talk about being young, but I can't talk about being old, and so I'm stuck in this middle area where nobody's happy with me. And I got a bad attitude about it. All right. Rage. Okay, so we're gonna do our makeup, and then I'm gonna add these tiny but mighty wings so we can see the difference it makes, that I think it makes. This is very nice, but I do like my tiny but mighty wing, but everybody's always like, barely there, can't see it. It's like, tiny but mighty, guys. Okay, so Milk Hydro Grip for the win. Finally ran out of my other one. It's toast. Could have broken a mirror. But we're gonna do the makeup. I tried the aloe trick, but I hated it. Now I'm oily. This was not for me. I did this, I needed to carry powder with me all night when I did this. So I went to Arizona and I got a sunburn. All right. You love your Perfect 10. Still saying it's your favorite, a Perfect 10 right behind it. Yes, it has a really nice finish. I wore it for my lunch yesterday, but I still will not buy their lip and cheeks or their blushes. It's too stinking expensive. I have one and I don't even like the color. It doesn't work for me. It's too sheer and it's too flippin' expensive. No blush. Blush should cost over $40. I'm sorry. That better have some stinking magic in it. And I just don't think $40, it's just too much for a blush. So Saint has $16 and it has pigmentation to it. Like the price and the pigmentation alone is it. Okay. Perfect 10 is a foundation. Yeah, it's a liquid foundation. I've been trying different liquid foundations to find one that works with mature skin. I should go put this on my mom. I bet she would be this color just fine. My mom is 66, and so maybe I'll ask her if I could go do her makeup. She's getting a spot tested on her nose for the scary C. And so she says that Saint just isn't quite covering it, but this is a high touch zone. She does wear glasses. So to think your makeup won't rub off right here is crazy town. Normal to dry, you know, I think you would really like this. I like this because it doesn't settle into my fine lines. It doesn't crack. It doesn't gather. But I did try this when I got sunburned and it worked great, but it made me look greasy. I feel like it had the feel of the Milk Hydro Grip. With the aloe, I think this is great if you get a sunburn, wear it under your makeup, but I'd almost preset with powder before you even put your makeup on. I don't know. Sorry, that's a real pet peeve when I make that noise. Okay, we're gonna do our makeup, and the first thing I'm gonna do is do my color correcting because I've got this bad boy. So I'm not gonna say my sister, but it was. She has a breakout that was right here at lunch yesterday, and she just kept saying, I was staring at it, and I'm like, well, then stop picking at it. But it was that dry, crusty stage. So here's my fix. If you get breakouts and they get picked, we're all pickers. It's fine. I'm a picker. It's all right. But if you're in that dry, do I have a link for Perfect 10? I do. Click the link in my description and fill out my color match form and choose Beauty Society. I have an option that you can either be color matched for Saint or Beauty Society. Choose Beauty Society and send me your picture and I can color match you to the Perfect 10. I also really like their Incognito concealer because it has anti-aging in it. So if you don't like the Tarte, this is better than Tarte, this is better than NARS, this is better than e.l.f. Hands down. I don't need to prep with balm with it like I do with Tarte. This is a really good anti-aging concealer. I would highly recommend it. I do bring the foundation up and then top it with the concealer for extra coverage. But if you love your Saint, if you love your Demi, still use that. Okay, your Candlelight and Saint. I want to say Alluring would work for you then. I'm trying to think. Get Alluring. Get Alluring. I'm going to tell you that right now. This one will work great for you. So this is Alluring. Let me stand by. We're gonna swatch them. I love how these just go in all the different places. It goes on like it's going to be less pigmentation. So if you have a lot of correcting you need to do, just keep that in mind. This is about 20% pigmentation. Saint is 80% pigmentation. Keep that in mind. So when you put that on, it's 20% pigmentation. So this is Candlelight, or Candlelit. Candlelit is here. And this is too light for my skin. And then here is Alluring. Woo! Where are you? It's a touch warmer and maybe. I still say, yeah, go get Alluring. And then I don't know what the next one up is. You can choose Alluring or the next one up, but they don't have a big variety. This will still work. Oh yeah, look at that. Just let it sit for a little bit. Candlelit, Alluring, you will be fine. And this has a touch more warmth, so it's gonna add a little more life to it than your skin, but it's not gonna look orange, okay? That does look close. So I would say Alluring, because when I was wearing Alluring, I was between Candlelit and Athens, and I felt like when I was wearing Athens in June that this looked a little light. So I would say Candlelit on this one. So get Alluring, that's the one. And then if you want to try their Incognito Concealer Shade 2. Oh, biscuits. I'm trying to think. It would take too long for me to make you guys wait. Message me. If you go to the description and you click the little envelope at the top of my link tree, send me an email. And then we're going to start talking. So that, yeah. Okay. I'm going to do my Saint makeup because I always do miss it a lot when I do wear other makeups. So we're going to do some color correcting. This is the shape brush. I have a black one, but get the silver one if you want to use it. My Aspen is about toast, but that's okay. So we're going to grab some Aspen. It's not even worth melting anymore. We just cook it. We don't want to cook it. So I'm going to grab some Aspen and we're going to color correct this old mess. Like my discoloration is spreading, but I have old acne scarring here from cystic acne, broken capillaries, general redness, active breakout. So when you have an active, this is what we were talking about. Okay. It hybrids phenomenally with Saint. The contours, the blushes, the bronzers. If you're worried that it's going to fall flat, because it is more matte, it feels dewy. So Perfect 10 feels dewy, but it goes on more matte, but it doesn't crack and gather and accentuate things. But if you want that dewiness, instead of grabbing shimmers and balms, just use Saint's contours, bronzers, and blushes, and the dewiness of those creams will accentuate and highlight and brighten and put the light back on. Okay, so here's the trick. Grab your balm if you have a breakout that is crusty. Grab your balm and tap that over the breakout. It's just going to moisturize it, it's going to hydrate it, and it's going to soften the dry skin. So that's what you're going to do. Then you're going to take whatever your makeup is, and we're going to go over and we are going to stipple over the red. Now this is more dulled. You still see it. I kind of love when I get a breakout, but look at that. It just takes this redness from your old scarring and it mutes the red, leaves the tones, like the depth is still there, but by taking a color of gray, remember the movie Pleasantville? Everything's still there, it's just different shades of gray. Your skin shouldn't look gray, it should just dull the colors down. This is now more of a dull red rather than a fire engine red. I prefer doing this because now the density of this color, so Aspen is a contour and Saint's contour is like, unlike anything else, would Mango do the same for color correcting? Mango can correct, yes, I say try it. The thing is, highlight colors are more creamy, whereas Saint's contours are more dense. So when you lay this on, it really depends on the color of your discoloration. So if it's like a deep purple, kind of like this one, it doesn't cover it, but I like having a density over it so that when I cover my makeup, the contour that's dense like Aspen is going to hold my makeup on, whereas Mango, it's more creamy. But I'm going to show you what I do. I do a 3 highlight method with this that you would use with Mango. So I'll show you. So I'm taking that Aspen, grabbing some more, and we're going to go over this redness. I have a touch of rosacea, so this does really good with that. And then I just go into those broken capillaries. I have that sunburn still lingering, and then I just go where I'm naturally kind of red. The stuff is still there, but it's not pink, and it just dulls it down. This is a great no makeup where your stuff isn't flaring in everybody's face. And so you can, if you don't mind your skin looking like your skin, but that redness is just feels a little harsh for you, taking something like Aspen and just sweeping it over and then going about your day works great. It stays really well. All right, now I'm gonna go into my next corrector, which is also dense, and this is Suede. I use this to camouflage this bad boy. I've lightened it a little bit with my Beauty Society, but the only thing that's going to get rid of this is a chemical peel, and I don't want to do that. So I just take Suede, and I'm going to go around it, and I'm going to hide it. You see that? And then I'm going to come up here because I have some growing in here, and then I just bring it up to camouflage it. Okay, we're hunting melasma, so we got to put on our camo. And so I just take this brown, and I have one here. I have a little bit of melasma coming in here, and a little up in this area. And so I just take this brown and I turn this whole area a similar tone. Whereas the Aspen mutes the red, is going to hide the colors by making my skin a similar tone, but it's dense. And so it's going to hold my makeup on as well. Very simple. Very simple. And again, you could stop here and you could just go about your day. And a lot of people like to just put a little, they like to do this, add a little, I don't know, we can do a no makeup look to start. So I'm going to take the lip whip. This is Saint's new lip whip. It's okay. Okay, I'm going to put this on. This reminds me of something from my childhood. I can't even remember what the lip product was from like 80s, early 90s, but this does remind me of it. I don't know what. It's different lip applicator, but do you remember that lip stuff that had the dome and you would squeeze it and it would like snake out? That's what this reminds me of. That's what this reminds me of. Okay. We're doing all kinds of things today. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that same balm. If you have under eye texture, everybody does, but it may be a bit of a bummer for you, put it under your eyes. This is going to help hydrate, moisturize, and it's going to make it a little slick, but it's going to help your makeup not crease, and it's going to, whatever product you put on, it's going to give that dewy sheen from under. But I like the balm for under my eyes. It's one of the things I can't not do. So the next thing I'm going to do, I think, is grab my Demi. Demi is great if you have a lot of texture, puffiness, discoloration under your eyes. Demi's the best. Okay, I'm going to take a little brush. This is a spot brush, so it has this little pinpoint end and then this fluffy end. And then I'm going to go in and I'm just going to correct some discoloration. So I'm going into the color YO1, yellow, orange, level 1, which means my darkness isn't dark. It's moderately dark. And so these are kind of the colors you're going to live with. There's, what one is this? Is this like, OY1 is another really good one. O3 is a good one, which is this. So you're going to live with these three colors if you have some darkness. So I'm just going to go in right here to this inner corner, and it's point to point. It's not an area, and we're just going to go into where you're really dark. Lightness pulls out, and so I'm going to go into my shadowy trough, and I'm going to use this to give the illusion of lift. Lift. And then I'm going to take this fluffy brush, and I'm just going to tap it into those areas and let it work with that balm. And the darkness just kind of fades away. And that balm helps with, if it looks chalky, it's the wrong color. I'm going to go right here into this color. I think it's O3. These are my top two ones. O3. So this is like an orange level 3. I'm going to go in with the fluffy, and I'm just going to tap the top. And I'm going to come over here and just kind of take care of the dark discoloration. But you want very minimal product. Okay? And I'm going to bring this down under that YO right here. And it just brightens it right up. Isn't that pretty? And so this could be your no makeup. If you want to go, you could just add that red, cancel that redness with Aspen, add a little bit of Suede, and then correct your under eye. I'm going to try to correct this. So I would call this, it was fiery red, which makes you grab green. When I added my Aspen, it turned it more of a shade of purple, which means you want kind of an orange color. So I'm gonna grab what I believe is 01. I'm gonna check it. Oh, biscuits. Demi can be fun, it's just tricky. So this is Y01. I'm gonna pop over here to 01 and I'm just gonna tap onto it with the tiniest dot, and I'm gonna go to that little pimple and I'm gonna point spot treat it, and then I'm gonna tap it out. I'm gonna go around it. You just point to point it and it's gone. No makeup. That you could walk out your door. So if you have a palette that looks similar to mine, where you have like your color correctors, I'm not using this guy because it just turns it a shade of peach, but using those colors just corrects it and gives me a no makeup, and then I can go in and I can add a blush if I want to. It's really easy to cater this makeup, and it could click in, like I have an open space right here, so I could add 2 demi colors right there and it could work just fine. It's really about how do you want to feel your best. I always have a cleaning tile. That's what those half tiles are for. If you buy a collection that has a half a tile, it's really good for demi. All right, so grabbing that Y01, we're gonna go right in here. I prefer a lip and cheek when I'm doing a full face of all the makeup. I just think it works a little bit better. Demi's really creamy and I think it slips and moves. And so I don't like, if you're gonna do a coverage on your breakouts or these little spots here, I would say you need to do that with a dense product over demi because it's gonna move off of these little things. I would have to carry this palette around with me all day. So I'm just cleaning up that brightness, correcting that darkness right there. So easy. It's so easy. These last 4, I've had these for years. I want to say I've had them for 3 years and I haven't hit 10 on any of them. None of them. Going into that 03 and just cleaning up, and I'm just going to bring it over this coloration right here and then brighten up right here using that 03. Look at how pretty that is. And if I didn't care as much as I care, I'd go out about my day like this with just like a nice gloss and doing those 2 things. It looks great and the skin looks smooth. Yes, creams enhance the texture of your skin. They don't accentuate it. I feel like if you look at those as like 2 different kinds of words, so accentuating and enhancing. Your skin is a texture. Let it do its thing. Let it live and do its glow. I personally don't like this. I like the look of makeup, but I also, I'm gonna try to make this work. I wanna try. I love to live in my pinks. So I'm gonna grab the shape brush again. And I'm gonna grab Hollywood. Hollywood is this color right here. A lot of people compare it to Orgasm by NARS. I don't know. I'm gonna grab a little bit of it, just a touch, and we can come right here and add just a little pink. Just to add a touch of pink to our skin. Light pink, but you wanna think about your discoloration when you're adding your blushes. I'm keeping it up high. I mean, I don't have a lot of volume. As you mature, there's a few things that happen. You lose volume in your lips and your cheeks, and your nose and ears never stop growing. It's awful. But I could just go about my day just like this. I can add contour to my nose if I want to, but this is a very easy out the door kind of makeup. Should I just stop here and just let this be? But I kind of wanted to show how you can do Mango, the 3 highlight colors. So stopping here, this is like a no makeup out the door, so easy. I'm gonna make this tutorial this week. Tomorrow, I'm gonna make this its own tutorial. So stay tuned. It'll get posted this week. So I do like to take things we talk about, I'm trying to find a post-it, and make a list of things I need to make during the week to post. So I'm gonna make this a tutorial because, yeah. All right, let's do our face. So if you are wondering about Mango and you wanna correct I don't necessarily think you need to, but you could do this. If your stuff, I like to call it stuff, is not as angry as mine after the Aspen, So you can do the aspen, or you can skip the whole aspen thing and you could do the 3 highlight method, which I have here. So this is hazel, think of it as your mango. Then you have, you say your Athens, that would be this right here. I think I'm using June, all right? And then this right here is a color too. I don't know any of the colors in my palette today. All right, this is Versailles. I think Versailles and Candlelit go together like peanut butter and jelly. But Athens, Candlelit, this is like your main foundation color, okay? So we're gonna take that and you're going to, let's do the shape brush because I got it right here. So we're gonna go into the darkest shade. Hazel is like what you would consider, who was it that did it? Biscuits, where are you? Okay, Sandy. So think of when I say hazel, you think mango. You're gonna take that color. I like using a light application brush. Get the silver shape brush. It's great. You're gonna go over your discoloration. So for me, when you really start looking, you can still see all my stuff, okay? You want a darker shade if you're covering up a zit, redness, any of that stuff. So you're gonna take this color and you're gonna go over that spot area, okay? So this is giving me that coverage. Now my skin looks like it's one color. Stipple this in, okay? If you have texture, pores, fine lines, whatever it is, I'm getting this, I don't know, this guy, I don't even know what it is. And it's a line, it's a fine line, it's great. You're gonna take that and stipple it in. It helps get into all the different areas, and having a fluffier brush, like the shape brush. Do not get the gold shape brush, get the silver one. When it sells out, it's gone. Get the silver one. It's shaped like this. The gold one is not. It's not. It's shaped like this. You don't want it. Okay? So again, taking that discoloration and you're going over it with that darker shade. Going over it, getting into those little nooks and getting that coverage on the stuff you want coverage on. Balances it out, but your whole face isn't that color. So you're going to, so I got a little bit of color, I'm losing it. And so we're taking that, and you can, because they're right by each other. This is what's nice about having everything in one place, laid out, flat. These are $16 a color. Like, you're not gonna find something that does what this does for this price. And this pigmentation, 80% pigmentation. If you're gonna go out and you're gonna go and try to find another, I don't know, stick foundation, this is Hourglass, this is 40% pigmentation. It still doesn't pack the punch Saint does. Same with Merit, same with OG, same with Fenty. They're 40% pigmentation. Saint is 80% pigmentation. Okay, getting off my soapbox here. I'm gonna go into my main shade. What am I here? Athens. Athens. And I'm going to put this on, and I'm just going to balance my skin tone out. You see how it's 2 different colors? And then we're going to bridge it together just by tapping around like this. Okay? And then don't forget to bring it down your neck. Dolly Parton taught me that. Bring it down your neck. Skincare, makeup, it goes down your neck. Wash. If you're getting breakouts back here, I get them, and that's why I can say that. It's because you forget to wash that spot. All right, grabbing my Athens or whatever your main shade is, and we're just balancing. Balancing. This is where the 80% pigmentation comes in, is you get coverage with less product on your face. These tins are tiny but mighty, and I'm a tiny but mighty kind of gal. I'm fun size in general. I'm 5'3 1/4". I'm fun size. All right, and my makeup's gonna be fun size too, but we're gonna pack a punch. Okay, it's like the Napoleons of makeup. All right, we're gonna get it done, tiny but mighty. Okay, we're gonna get that done. Look at that, it's just evened out. Bring it down your neck. If you need to add more, add more. If you have a lot of texture on your chin, a lot of texture right here, wherever, if you have a lot of texture, big pores, skip brightening in those areas. You don't have to do them, but having a cream that looks like I have a filter on, that's why everybody's gravitating towards creams. That's why creams are king right now, is because they enhance the texture of your skin, and it works to your benefit. It looks luminous because of not because of the makeup. It is because of the makeup. But it's the skin that's creating this. The texture of your skin is creating this, but the makeup is enhancing it. Sense? Tell me it makes sense. All right, we're gonna go in to this guy right here, and we're gonna brighten. This should look bad because it's lighter than my skin, but light is reflecting off of this area, So I'm just gonna push this over my brows and right here in this mid right here. It's the Wonder Woman of your forehead, okay? Wonder Woman, remember, or does that go higher? I don't know. I don't know. Just put it right there, okay? And then we're gonna hit the Cupid's bow and we're gonna hit right here. If you want a really nice hydrating lip and you're not a lipstick girl, you're not a shimmer girl, you'll really like the Lip Whip. But I do think there's other products you can get less for the same look. I don't try to push it, but I do like when you can buy this and that all in the same place. It is nice. But we're gonna add that right there. There's certain things I like to do in certain orders, but here we are. Okay. In the summer, I tan very warm. You can see it right here. I've been outside all weekend gardening. I'm going to go into Bella Bronzer. All my makeup's spread all over the place, but I'm going to go into Bella Bronzer. I feel like this goes on really well, more so than Xanadu. I love Xanadu. But when I'm using my bronzer as my bronzer, which is my contour and my bronzer, I'm going to go Bella over Xanadu. So we're going to take this fluffy brush. This is my summertime makeup. When you start getting your summer color and you're between shades and your contour is not contouring, go grab your bronzer, use the shape brush, silver, and we're just gonna put this where our tan already is, and we're just gonna enhance the tones that are already there. We're gonna let this work as our shadowing, but also we got some sun, and so we can absolutely put this in our contour zone and our bronzer zone. This area gets really brown. And then you're gonna pull that brightness out because we're not in the business of turning our forehead brown. We're just enhancing our tan and letting it work with us. That's very good. Come to me for more hair tips. I'm trying. This is day 2 hair. There's a lot of dry shampoo in there. Okay, so we're just pushing this brightness outward and they come together. And that's why we didn't need to put these highlight colors up here. That's why. Okay. We're gonna go in and we're gonna grab that bronzer again. I'm not putting a lot on. This is what's on my brush. I'm trying to focus it on the brush. You see it brown, but it's not clumpy, it's not thick. It's 80% pigmentation though. And so you're gonna go over here and you're gonna go on top of your cheekbone. Put this on like a blush. And then bring it up the temple. Smile so you can see exactly where your apples used to live. And bring it down, but don't bring it to the apple, just bring it towards it. There you go. Boom. It just looks a little nicer, okay? You can really see my oily skin. I can jump to greasy quick. All right, so we're gonna take this brown, this bronzer, putting it on like a blush. I prefer to bronzer like a blush rather than contour it. But I just put this on like a blush. I stay above my natural shadow. And bing, bang, boom. That it looks good. Okay, we're gonna pinch it. We're gonna grab a little more. Again, you don't even really want to see, you want it to just look like dirt, but not mud. And I'm gonna go in on the side of my nose here, the side of my nose here, and then I bring it up to where my sunglasses will hit or my readers or whatever you're using. I'll be using readers later today, but I try in the summer to not apply direct cream up here because that is where my glasses sit. And when you're working with creams, when your glasses sit and you're talking and you're laughing and you're sipping your margaritas, you're gonna gather a clump of cream right here under your glasses. And I'm gonna show you kind of how you can help hide that. But the first thing you do is you apply your contour down here and bring it up. Down here, bring it up. You want it thin. And that's where high pigment comes in handy, is you can pack a punch with very little product. All right? And so we're just going to bridge this together. Because I have a bump, so I bridge it together. But also, we're using a bronzer, so you need this to look sun-kissed, which is adding a little. All right? We're going to go in with that. You can use your brightening or you can use your main. I'm going to use my main today, and I'm going to hit the tip of my nose here. And then I'm going to go right up in the mid here. But I'm gonna skip the middle and then I'm gonna blend this upward and then blend this downward. And then whatever's left on my finger, I'll just add a little right there. But this just gives that bronzy look, like you wore your sunglasses outside and your nose got some color, you got some color. Think about it. Think about it. Okay, where am I? Under eyes. We need that lightening again. Okay, we're gonna take this and I'm just gonna add, because I did that demi and it brightened it up really nice, I'm just gonna add that much. It should look like dust, okay? It should look very minimal. I like using this black brush because it really does help. And I'm gonna smile. You see that shine right there? We're gonna just accentuate or enhance, and then we're gonna bring this upward. This is gonna give our eyes some lift, and then we can just tap this up and blend it towards that demi. And then right here, just tap it together. Very nice. Very nice. You can skip this part if you feel like your demi did enough. You don't have to do this, but I like a good bright under eye. I live on my orbital bone. I like the majority of my product on a taut area, but not the soft tissue hammock of my under eye. Okay. And then we just bridge it around and bring it up to that demi. It looks really, really nice. Okay. Going to my blushes. I like a bright cheek when I'm doing this. I think it makes me look fresh and summery. I just keep all my pinks together. Rosewood. If you want to touch a warmth with your pink, this is your fall winter shade, but it's also your warm, yummy, adds a little to your pink. I'm going to take this brush. I'm going to go into all of them. And then I'm just going to go right up here and add just a touch of flush pink to the high point of my cheekbone. And then right there on that mid, because we want that flushness, whatever. You can skip. Take what you want, leave what you don't. There are no rules in makeup. I just think there are no dang rules in makeup. Makeup rule is if you feel good when you've done it right. You've done it right. Okay, we're gonna set this a little bit. So if you have the sunglasses or the readers, here's what you're gonna do. Let me grab one of my readers here. I'm gonna clean up because these ones haven't been used. Woo, those are dirty when you can feel it through your shirt. Ooh, those are dirty, dirty. Okay. If you wear readers, go get yourself one of these guys. You get a whole pack of them on Amazon for like nothing. Okay, grab those. I like blotting dust over the vanilla dust, and it has a little sheen to it. Do you see that? And that's what gives it less texture. Okay, helps work with your skin. You're going to take a little poof. You're going to rub some powder on it, and then you're going to go to your glasses, and on the nose pads, you're going to add that powder. Okay. I add the powder to it, and it's going to help. It's makeup, not magic, okay? So don't come at me if you're like, I did that. How long were you wearing your glasses? Like, I get margarita deep, and I forget that it's been hours. I thought it had been 5 minutes. But a margarita can do that, time travel. Okay, so we're going to take some of that, and I'm going to go right, it's almost like baking, okay? We're not baking everywhere, but you are going to bake where the pads go, okay? We're going to grab this and we're going to go right where those nose pads go for our readers, for our sunglasses. I hit the bridge right here too, because some people, depending on your nose, it goes all the way across that doggone thing, okay? And so you're going to put this on fairly thick. It's going to be okay. And then you can take your blend brush, okay? And we're going to go into this setting powder right here. And we're gonna go in, and I always start where the least texture is on me. So find that spot on you, mine's my temple, and then I'm gonna bring this up and over and around. Not on my soft tissue, not on my under eye soft tissue, this guy. We're not gonna apply it there, we're gonna bring it up and around, we're gonna let this set, and then you bring it to your high texture zones last, like your under eyes, like the middle of your brows if you don't get the injections like I do yet, and then onto those pores, into your nose crease when you think it's like, but high texture zones. I don't know if you guys could hear Hugo the Hugo, but he's flaring. All right, so we're going in. Oh, I know who it is by stuff of where he's barking. Okay, sorry. We're taking that powder. I don't put a lot on. Less is more. Okay, go into my low texture zone, and I'm gonna go up and down, bring it around. Bring it around, hitting the high texture spots after I've initially brought it on. I'm oily, I go greasy super quick, but I still like dew. And so using something that has that little bit of sheen to it is really nice. And again, like glitter, when you think it's gone, it is not. Then you can go into those high texture zones and you can add it and then spray your setting spray. Okay, and so as we've done that, I'm gonna break this down now that it's baked a bit. There's a little clump. Just break that off. But again, makeup, not magic. Okay, you're gonna take a setting spray. I'm gonna use the one size I recently learned this a few months ago that there's different kinds of setting sprays. There's hydrating setting sprays, but then there's film forming setting sprays, which are really nice. And that's what this one is, and Blue Marble. Blue Marble really stiffens my hair. So I'm gonna take this aerosol. This is one size. I get the travel size to try out. Anytime you try anything, get the travel size. That's with, what's this one here? The Professionals. I do like it. It's a little too fine of a mist and it doesn't come out there. I don't know, but I do like it. I like a lot of different setting sprays. Try them, get the travel sizes if you can. Spray over that setting spray. This will help reduce any powdery texture. Powder always has a texture. It's just what it is. And that's the makeup. But that's gonna help reduce it. And then you can go and you can grab your glasses and you will feel, my glasses are so dirty. So dirty. But that's that. It's going to help. Makeup, not magic. It will help with the clumping gathering. All right, you work. Okay, fun fact, Ricardo. I went to the Air Academy many moons ago, back in 1999, and I wanted to be a flight attendant specifically for Southwest because they are the most fun. And every time I get on a Southwest airline, I'm always like, I wonder if they'll let me like announce the safety stuff, like the exits, the pull. Like I want to do it so bad because you guys have so much more freedom to like go with it. I wanted to work for Southwest so bad. I got to interview, but they were only out of the whole school. They were only interviewing for one position. And they made a mistake because I was trying to live in Aspen also. I wanted to live in Aspen. It was before I had my son. But I was like, I'm going to live in Aspen and be best friends with like Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. And but I just really wanted to live in Aspen, and Southwest was hiring back then. And I interviewed, but they hired the Hawaiian with the yellow sunglasses. Hawaiians aren't going to stay in Aspen. They're going to want to go back to Hawaii. Anyways, I didn't get the job. I decided that I would leave and go to flight attendant school, and I didn't do any of that. And now here I am doing makeup on YouTube. Okay, so we're gonna put on some brows, and then I'm gonna show you my tiny but mighty wing, because on Mondays we get carried away and we talk about everything. There's always just a little fun fact that I throw out there, it seems like, and now it is Southwest Airlines. Okay, so we're just going to pop on some brows as fast as I can because nobody really wants to watch this part. Kind of like the mascara, I feel like. Okay, so if you're ever looking for cute readers, Anthropologie, that's where you go, and they change them out all the time. I have a lot of readers, and they're all peepers from Anthropologie. Once they go out of stock, they'll just find a new pair to bring. They don't bring them back in stock, and I have a whole lot. They're fun. They are fun. My husband actually wears them, and he has a ginormous head, and so it always looks so funny when he wears them. Okay. What is the brow color? I'm using Trust. So I keep it in a palette too. I always keep this little guy. But Trust and Oak I keep together. If I ever get a bald spot, I use Oak to fill in bald spots. But Trust is my trusty. And yeah. Okay, so we're gonna add this tiny but mighty wing. I just feel like it gives my eyes a little bit of lift, but I think this looks real nice. Where's my, okay, so I'm gonna add my tiny but mighty wing, and we're gonna see how this helps. So I always add a little dash on the inside, and it goes right on the edge to where my lashes start. Okay, little touch makes a difference, right? And then I'm going to go about 1/4 of the way in, and then I just come straight out, and then I come where my lashes stop, and I go up until they meet, and then I fill it in. So I basically draw the outline, and then I go from there. So that's my tiny but mighty wing. It's not a wing, but it adds this little touch of lift. And so this doesn't look bad. I need another light. Let's add my chicken butt. Let me add my chicken butt. Add my chicken butt light. Let me tip my chicken butt upward. We're gonna just MacGyver this lighting here. So I have my little wing that I think adds just a little kick in the tush, okay? Whereas this, it just shows my lashes come down, and then this adds a little, it's like tiny but mighty. I'm gonna add my other favorite thing. This is how I lift my eyes at my age. At my age, we'll take all the help we can get. At anybody's age, really. Everybody has their age where they're like, I wanna look younger. Where's my stinking brush? Biscuits and gravy. Where did I set it down? You guys, I'm just looking for an etch brush. I should have multiples of this brush, and I don't. I found a pencil. Gosh darn it. Where the lip? There we go. Okay, we are gonna go in to a main shade, and I'm going to waterline the bottom with my main highlight. You can do this with a pencil, a flesh toned pencil, and then you're gonna go upward. Stand by, but this is where the magic happens, right? See that? See how it just brightens the eye up a little bit? I'm gonna blink it out a couple times. Okay, so tiny but mighty. Adds just a little bit of lift, opens it up, adding that nice bit. Okay. Yes. Yes, Dana, we can do this with that. I'm gonna do a video this week where I will do that. I'll use the endpoint brush. Oh, juniper would be a really good one. If you got the juniper with the pressed pigments, you could do this with Salem. Don't do this with Black Friday. Black Friday doesn't set if you have hooded eyes or a heavy droop like I do. It's gonna transfer, and you don't want that. But you can do this with the endpoint brush, absolutely. But get the brush wet, go into Salem. It looks great, it's black. I don't know if they fixed the picture, but you can totally do this tiny bit of lift. So I'm gonna have a picture in my Facebook group this week where it's gonna show, I have better lighting on this side, so I will show my face without and with. But again, you just add that little bit right here to where your lashes start. This just gives you, this is gonna help look like the eyeliner goes all the way across, and then about a quarter of the way in, again, pulling it straight out, going to the end of your lashes, not the outer corner, the end of your lashes. And then you just meet and fill. Meet and fill. It's not hard, pretty dang easy. My dog is going crazy. But look at how it just instantly lifts. Immediately, yes. This is a Stila brush or pen that I used on as my liner. I do have a link for it in the description. And then you just add that little bit of main highlight to the waterline. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And instead of lip whip, I'm a bigger fan of the Diamonds Are Forever lipstick. Look at how pretty that is. And then the shimmer in it, I like it more. It's pretty. It's pretty. It's my favorite. Okay. That's my makeup on Monday. We went over like we always do, but I like taking the new shades that look super scary and they don't look scary on my eyes. I have all three on. So again, blue on the inner corner. We've got this one on the outer part of the lid. And then goodness great. Yeah, it's so hard to see the actual colors. And we took this pinky one and put it right in the middle. They're not as scary as you think. They are a little more sparkly than you would, and you don't realize it until you swipe it on. But I will do a picture in my Facebook group. So if you're not part of my Facebook group, the link in the description has everything. It has my eyeshadow primer. It has my BK Beauty brush that I used to apply it. It has my eyeliner pen that I really love. It has my eyelash serum, everything. Oh, chrome. I'm not a fan. I did chrome, but I did a purple, and then we put this chrome on, it turned them pink. But I'm about to take my summer off of nails. Oh, it makes me sad. But all the links are in, even my groups. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I don't do a lot of makeup when it comes to Instagram. It's just not for me. It's a hard platform. I just share my life stuff. So you're going to see a lot of chickens on there, plants, me losing my mind with my kids, but complaining about my house, like trying to fix up our house. My husband grew up in our home, and my kids actually sleep in his old room. Like, he grew up in this home, and so we're making it ours, and it's an old 70s house, and there's a lot to do. So if you want to follow that kind of mess, that's on Instagram. But in Facebook, in my group, I get to share a lot more. I talk about my skincare. I talk about, I'm going to be probably talking about this. This is my favorite eye cream in the morning. It's a caffeinated botanical eye cream. So good, so nice. Absolutely love it. Love it. I keep one in here, a backup, and there's one in my bathroom. But I talk about everything in my group, and I'm able to share pictures better. Here, it's just videos. So I will be doing a no makeup tutorial this week. I'm going to be doing my tiny but mighty eye lifting trick, but I'm going to be doing all the things. But in my link is everything. And if anything's missing, tell me, and I'll put it in there. Or I'll try to remember. But send me your color matches. Send me your messages. I'd love to talk to you about makeup. This is how I support my family. And I love it. This is so fun. YouTube has become my favorite space. I look forward to my Monday lives every Monday, and it really bums me out when I have to miss one or two. But I will be back next Monday. These are always long. If you made it this whole time, I love that you stayed. I love it. You love the Beauty Society products. Yes. Oh, good. The way your makeup lays better with it, that was the second game changer for me. The way my skin responded was first, but the game changer after was the way my makeup works with it is so, so good. Okay, that's it. That's my Monday live. I'll be back next Monday with my extra long live again, and I will be posting a few tutorials this week. Have a great day.